Hello and welcome to another episode of Between the Studs. I am your host, Daniel, and I am joined today by Joe and Chris, the owner of Atlanta Brick Co. And we are here today to do a sort of year in review recap for 2024, discussing all of the fantastic things that happened both in our personal lives as well as for the store in general. We're also going to give you a bunch of cool statistics about our social media and our podcast things, as well as our sales, which I think should be pretty interesting, as well as what we are looking forward to moving into 2025. So to get us started, we would first of all like to thank all of you for watching our content here, wherever you may be watching it or listening to it. If you are a podcast listener of ours, we put out podcasts to so many platforms. You can listen on Spotify, you can listen on YouTube, Apple Music, I don't even know where else. Google Podcasts, yeah. So a lot of people watch on YouTube as well, so thank you all for watching. If you're a customer of ours, thank you for supporting us throughout 2024. And so this video is kind of for you all to see some different interesting statistics about where you all are coming from, the things that you're buying, the things that you're watching, and things like that. So, Chris, do you have anything to add to that as well before we get started here?
Yeah, if any of our viewers or listeners have suggestions, we'd love to hear them. You can pop them in the comments. You can send us an email, info@atlbrick.com, and that'll come right into all three of us, actually.
Absolutely.
And if you are ever visiting the store and you're an interesting person, then you can.
That's a loaded.
You can give us a heads up, and we'll put you on and do a podcast with you.
Yeah, that's right. Customer of the day also is one of the first. We
also do the customers of the day, which is the shorts format. Mm-hmm. So if you're an expert, let's say if you're an expert from Australia and you are an expert at Bionicle, then you can give us a heads up that you're going to be in town, and we'll get you on a podcast.
Absolutely.
We would love to talk to you.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's get things started here. So we're going to cover some of our favorite personal moments, some of our favorite store moments, just as sort of a year in review for 2024. So some big things. I would say one of the most notable things that we did in 2024 was open the first ever secondary location of Atlanta Brick Co. So why don't you tell us more about how that went, Chris, and what your impressions of that process were?
So our soft opening was April 1st.
April Fools.
Not a joke, guys.
No joke. It was kind of done with tongue-in-cheek because we were supposed to open a year prior.
Right.
Yeah.
Over
a year prior?
Around that.
Yeah. So we were like, okay, well, at this point in time, let's just make it April 1st because it worked, actually. That was like, we actually rushed to get open by April 1st. And our soft opening was smooth. So that was good. The store was full. It looked fantastic.
Yeah.
And then we had our grand opening on June 1st, and I don't think it could have gone any better. I mean, Daniel, you were there. It was.
Yeah, I think I was there for both.
You were there for the soft, because I was there for the soft, but not the grand.
That's right.
It was darn near perfect. We had the perfect amount of people there, the perfect amount of guests. It was wonderful.
The line was wrapped. It's in a. Like a strip?
It's at the end of the strip.
That's probably 10 units long, and it went all the way down and around that corner. And I don't think anybody I talked to in line said that they were upset about waiting to get
everybody
in.
was excited. Really positive and happy, and it was just a wonderful event.
Yeah, I was really pleased.
The weather for Orlando in June actually behaved.
It was great.
It was a little
instead of being
wind
blistering hot.
There's shade there.
The brewery had some fans out there, I think, as well.
Yeah.
So yeah. Very nice.
So that was a successful opening, and they've had a good run of it for the whole year.
Absolutely.
So we're excited to see what they're going to do in 2025. They have the potential of surpassing us for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah, they've got great foot traffic in there. I think they're in a great area, which is fantastic.
I'm jealous of the halls they're getting. I would say they've gotten some bigger halls in 2024 than we got.
Yeah, they got some pretty good stuff.
Yeah. For sure. So that was definitely a big part of our 2024. I think we did a whole separate Between the Studs episode about that. So after this video is over, you can go back and check that out if you want to know more about the Orlando store opening. Another big thing we did in 2024 was the second time we participated in the Downtown Noonan Christmas Parade.
Yeah.
The first time we did this, we were less than prepared. I believe it was 2022 it would have been because we skipped 2023. Yeah. And I think we ran out of candy to pass out by about halfway through the parade.
I don't even know if we made it halfway.
A rough guess on candy was between 500 and 1,000 pieces that first year.
That first year, I believe we did 1,000,
Yeah.
thinking that would be more than enough, and
It was very much not.
This year we did 5,000 bags with 2 pieces of candy in each bag, so that's about 10,000 pieces of candy, and we still ran out.
Yeah, we almost made it to the end, but there were still probably several hundred more we could have handed out.
And this was my first year doing it. I
it
didn't
was
do it
crazy.
the first year, and then we missed it last year. We had a lot going on.
We did.
Year.
We just
The
didn't have
weather
enough staff
wasn't
to make it.
good.
Yeah.
So this year, I was like, hey, I feel like we all need to do this.
Yeah.
I thought we were prepared. I was not prepared. I wasn't prepared for it. It was just kids like,
Yeah.
They did seem like they had not eaten in a week.
Yeah.
But they were just wanting candy, man. Kids are crazy.
The Noonan Christmas Parade is a big deal.
It
They
is.
advertise
There's so
it on the
many
radio
people.
nonstop, like starting probably before Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
honestly,
it's a big thing.
I
don't know.
It's a big deal.
have a funny story that some people might find funny is that the first kid that I encountered in the parade route, we turned the corner and the first kid there, he's maybe 10 years old, he says, "You look just like Dr. House." And I was like I've heard that before.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
It's that one or it's
Or
Chris
Chris
Martin
from
from
Coldplay.
Coldplay.
But to have a 10-year-old say it to me while I'm like totally bewildered, getting ready to be,
Most
trampled.
10-year-olds don't know House or Chris Martin
Yeah,
from Coldplay.
that's a good point. Yeah.
It was just really funny
That's so
and
funny.
memorable.
I don't
That is
know.
funny.
I really don't know what it's like to hand out candy though. I haven't done it either time.
You still haven't done it. Well, third time's the
I've been
charm,
on the
Joe.
float.
Maybe
being-
next year.
Well, I've been our star.
Okay,
That's
or
fair.
ballerina.
So it was
that's
the Nutcracker theme, and if you haven't seen the video,
The first year you were
gotta
the-
go back and see
the-
it.
I was the
Gingy,
gingerbread,
man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
getting some good moves in.
Joe was the
gingerbread.
ballerina in a ballerina suit.
Mhm.
It was
It was
great.
one of those big sumo one those.
The big
so It
inflatable,
was really
yeah.
fun.
Yeah. But that was good. We definitely enjoyed participating in that, and I'm sure we will do it again in the future
That's the
as we get only better and more prepared and more well-equipped to handle it, as it is a very intense event. Some other interesting things we did this year. Of course, we participated in a lot of Lego conventions, both local and further abroad. So I think the biggest one, obviously, our home show, Atlanta BrickCon, which takes place in February.
We got another one coming up
Was
soon.
a while ago now, but about to come up again in less than a month here. So how do you think that went for us last year? Did you go at all last year?
I went at all day Saturday just to look around, but I did end up helping in the booth a couple hours just because we were so busy. It was a very packed, a great showing, a really good show. I mean, I think I've been to one other, which was Brick Rodeo in 21, which was great.
That's right. Yeah,
It was
that
really
one I'd
good.
never been
I
to.
loved it a lot, but it's really well done in Atlanta. It's set up very well. There's not a lot of cramped areas, so it flows well, and we always do well.
And one of the biggest things for that one is the space has been growing basically exponentially. I mean, that first year that I went, I guess would have been 2023 probably. They had one single hall rented. Last year they went to 2 halls, and then this year is supposed to be either 3 or 4.
Really? Nice.
I think you can only get up to a maximum of 4 halls. That's the biggest one that they can combine. So I'm not sure when they'll get to that point. But Atlanta BrickCon is rapidly becoming
It's a good one.
probably the number 3 largest show in the country. I
Other
would
than,
say
what,
after
Chicago and
and Virginia. I would say it's definitely getting to be a contender for that number 3 spot.
Nice.
So I'm very grateful for that being
It's
our
right
local
here,
home
too.
show. Yeah, for sure. We also did a very large sort of social media promotional event this year with the big $1,000 plus giveaway, courtesy of our good customer, Mr. Wilson.
Yep.
So we had, what did we give away? It was the $1,000 gift card,
Jedi Bob,
Hera,
Singula, the original one, a custom figure, Hannibal Lecter, and then Rebels Stormtrooper. So there was 5 prizes.
A good breadth of value
It was.
and rarity.
I mean, so even if you got the Stormtrooper, at least you won something. It's cool.
Right, for sure. But that was, as I mentioned, courtesy of Mr. Wilson. He made a very generous donation right there around the holidays for us to do a big social media campaign giveaway. So that was kind of a nice breadth of different prizes there for different levels of value and rarity, I would say, so that there were top prizes and lower prizes. So good variety of things for people to win.
The big story with that is our winner of the $1,000 giveaway messaged us after I said, "Hey, congratulations, you won!" Right? He messaged us and it's like, "Oh my goodness, this is crazy, guys! I just lost my house to Hurricane Milton.
Yeah.
And me and my family, our whole Lego collection, him and his sons, was gone, and they were trying to replenish it.
Yeah.
You know, insurance took care of their house, and they were good there, but they were like, you know, all our Lego was gone. So they're like, this is going to be great. We'll go to your Orlando store, and we'll get stuff. So I was like, that's perfect. You know, that's exactly what you want to hear.
That's what you would want to hear. Exactly.
We were glad to hear that, and hopefully they got some good stuff. I haven't heard from them again, but
isn't that amazing though? How many people entered that?
Right, many people. Actually, I can.
Well, we should have this statistic for how many people liked the post.
That liked it was 2,000. So you had that was one of the things you had to do. So 2,000 people entered, and only 5 people won. Only one person got $1,000.
Yeah. So 1 in 2,000.
Yeah.
And he just happened to probably need it the most.
Yeah. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Very cool story. Very cool. All right, let's see some other things that we started doing in 2025. We started doing our behind-the-scenes store tours.
Yeah.
We finally cleaned up our basement enough. We actually talked about this. It was the end of 2023 when we rearranged the store so that we could open up the basement.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, all throughout 2024, all we've gotten as comments from people coming in the door are, "Wow, y'all really rearranged some things in here, and I didn't know y'all had a basement." So.
Right.
We said, well, how can we, you know, we've gone to this effort. How can we show people, you know, what we're doing behind the scenes and all the effort that we went to clean this up down here. And so you can now go on our website and look for behind the scenes tour and schedule a tour. If you're coming in from out of town, you just got to do it a week in advance. And we will be happy to show you all of the behind the scenes stuff. Mm-hmm. One of the other great things we did was around Halloween. We did a ton of different things.
Yeah.
So we did the store the store scavenger hunt, which is where you could look for different minifigs and you could win a prize.
Pretty fun.
And then we did a trick-or-treat store tour as well. So it was the same tour. You didn't have to make a reservation.
And there was
candy. So, of course, the kids were most interested in the candy and the adults were most interested in actually seeing
we got a lot of
behind-the-scenes stuff.
Tours. A lot of people that were regulars that I recognized that just were like, oh, this is so cool. And Daniel did most of them, and you did a great job with those. I did end up doing most of them. And they were a lot of fun to see the people go, wow, that's so cool. I had no idea, and I've come here so many times.
Those were the biggest comments where I had no idea that you all did this so much behind-the-scenes stuff.
Right.
And you know, we get a lot of people come in and they're like, how do you all have so many people working here?
Right.
And it's
not
because
just retail.
We do so many things besides just working retail and sales.
Right.
I mean, we can run this store with as little as 2 or 3 people if we're just closing and doing sales on the night shift or something. But I mean, during the day we have as many as
probably around
10 to 12 people working here because we do so much behind the scenes processing, cleaning, sorting, inventorying. So all of those other fun things we do, you can learn about on our behind the scenes tour if you're planning a visit.
That's right.
And then let's see, one other just recap, sort of more on the personal side. We want to talk about some of our favorite sets that came out in 2024. So who wants to go first with their best Lego set of 2024?
I mean, the best Lego set of 2024 is also my favorite one, which is obviously Barad-dûr.
Okay,
from Lord of the Rings.
that tracks.
I mean, it just makes sense, right?
Yeah, it does.
I didn't order it right when it came out because I was like, I shouldn't. But then a couple weeks later, I gave in, and I was like, you know what? My wife's about to have a baby. I'm going to have a lot of downtime.
Things to spend a lot of money on this year.
So I went ahead.
Lego is not one of them.
I was like, I'll get this one big set because I'm going to need it at some point. So I got it, and it came in the same day my son was born.
That's so
over the next 2 weeks, I was off, and I just, whenever they were sleeping, I just went and built Lego. It was great. So that's definitely the best set. And it's a great set in general.
Nice.
And you'll always remember that.
Every time I show it to people, I'm like, yeah, this came in the same day my son did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. See,
the happiest day of your life.
Really, that's exactly.
The day my daughter was born, my Honda Accord was stolen from the parking lot, and I'll never forget that.
That's not as cool
It just made it such a special day,
so
and
special.
Such a special moment.
Wow. I'm so glad to hear that. Mine's better.
Every time we pass that hospital, I say to my daughter, "Hey, you know what happened at that hospital? It's where my car got stolen."
Exactly. Perfect. Oh yeah, you were born too.
Very good.
Here, let me do mine.
Yes, what do you got?
My favorite set of 2024. Not the best set, but my favorite one. Was it the year that, was it last year that the Blackbird jet came out from the X-Men?
That was last year.
That was last year.
Yeah.
I would have to say that one because it was nostalgic to the 90s. And,
yeah, fair enough.
And it's been a while since they've come out with X-Men.
Yeah.
But then the other one would be the D&D stuff. Because
that's fair.
Also nostalgic to the 80s.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Which is when I grew up, and just it's neat kind of seeing all that stuff.
Yeah.
Now,
all the CMFs.
Would I like to have seen some different characters in the CMF? Yeah, but you can't be picky. At least you.
And there was some really unique stuff in there.
Who knows? Maybe they do a series too.
Yeah.
I mean, there's infinite things they could do with that.
I think they have to. It sold so well.
There's any number of things they could do with that.
All right, how about you, Daniel?
I thought about this for a little minute. There were a couple different ones I thought of, like the Notre Dame Cathedral, which turned out to be great timing with them reopening it after the fire.
And the
Endurance Polar Ship, another great one that I still have not built. The Batman animated series Skyline, another great one I still have not built. But I would say one of my favorite ones from this year was the Dune Ornithopter.
That's fair.
And I have some extra attachment to it because I also went to the effort to I photocopied the last 4 pages of the manual with the parts inventory, and I came back here in the store and I pulled every red, blue, tan, or Technic part in light gray, dark gray, or black to color swap it. So I put the extra time in before building it, and it was well worth it. But I mean, it was a very great set to begin with.
It's awesome. It's so well designed. Shout out to my boy Mike Psyche.
Absolutely, incredible play features. A lot of things they were able to work in there with some just mind-boggling techniques. So yeah, that would be, I would say, my favorite one from 2024. All right, next we are going to get deep in the paint with these statistics here. So we're going to start off with some of our social media statistics. So we will start off with YouTube here. So we've got all sorts of papers on the desk here with statistics. I feel like I'm on like a sports broadcast or something on ESPN or something. All right, so we got our top videos, and this is all going to be just from 2024. So this is based on top views in 2024, not necessarily videos that were published in 2024.
And this is long-form videos.
Long-form videos, yes. So coming in at the number 1 spot was actually, of all things, a video made by Justin, and not a recent video by Justin. This is an older one, still getting the most views in 2024.
I'm guessing 2022, maybe.
Probably.
Yeah.
Well, if it would have had to been very early, because Justin would have left right before I started in like February or March of 2022.
Well, I can check it right
But this
now.
is the Crystal King review from Power Miners, and then Justin also made a mock inspired by the Crystal King 3 years ago, and we still got 31,000 new
January
views.
4th. January 4th of 22.
Very beginning of 2022.
So exactly 3 years ago, basically.
And that got 31,000 new views in 2024, which is pretty mind-boggling.
I'll have to go back and watch
it's
that.
It must be good. It's at a total of 46,000. So it was good, and then for something happened this year that the algorithm said, and took it away.
It had a good thumbnail. It had a good concept. It was both a set review as well as a custom mock, so combining sort of multiple interests for different people. So you never know what's going to work. Some other highlights here, just some other videos. So we got the How We Process Bulk Lego, always a popular video. People are always referencing back to that. That one got almost 10,000 new videos. I would say probably you.
How we process bulk Lego.
Yeah, mostly.
Yeah, I would imagine you or Ed. Let's see, another top one here. We had the Rare Lego Parts and Pieces number 6. This is a very popular ongoing series that we keep bringing back. People always love to see the rare parts, as well as another series that we started.
So that was our top BTS.
Yep, our top episode of BTS. Most views from 2024. 7,126 views on that one.
Those are always so good.
I can't remember if 6 is the most recent one or if we're up higher than that, but it's also gotten a little bit mixed in with another series that we started, which is more specifically parts that are commonly thrown away, which are often also rare parts. And then one of the top sort of categories of videos here was collection tours. So we had touring a gigantic multi-room Lego collection. That was with the Kibblers.
That was quite a while ago.
That one was also, probably so that was really from 2023. It would have been before they moved. Followed by, I don't know, some other guy's collection tour.
Yeah, some cool guy.
Yeah, Joe's gigantic Lego collection tour. He got 5,394 views in 2024. Pretty good.
Let's go.
Let's see, what else did we do? Another highlight, personally for me, the Remaking Citron video, another older video. I'm still getting just over 3,500 new views on that one in 2024. And then, as we already talked about a little bit with Orlando, we did the Between the Studs episode about opening Orlando Brick Co. That was episode number 170. That one got just over 3,000 views. So pretty cool to see there which types of videos are doing well. So we definitely take these things into consideration.
That's a really diverse mix, too.
It is, yeah. Lots of different types of series. We also do lots of shorts, as I'm sure many of you all know. Once we hired Ella, we started doing a lot more with TikTok, which was something we had been wanting to get into for a long time. As well as reposting.
None of us old geezers.
I know you really wanted to get into TikTok.
There was a reason we never did them before, and it was because we didn't have it. I think Randy was one of the only people at the store before Ella
had TikTok.
who even was on TikTok. So, But yes, we now are very grateful to Ella for us getting into that new kind of platform. So these statistics are from YouTube, but they are mostly about those TikToks and Reels types content. So we had some great ones here. So the number one, the title is just "Weah!" So we will hopefully splice a clip in here for y'all to watch this little short real quick here.
No! Everyone!
So there you go. That's that one. Of course, Bricky Bobby getting his hand broken around here is a very common occurrence. I would say, how often would we say it happens? Once a week?
It's at least
Sometimes
once a
weekly,
week.
yeah.
Let's
And
say
if
on
we could
average.
fix it faster, maybe twice a week.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, honestly, the slower we fix it, the less often it happens because
Right.
it can't get broken again. We just need to glue the thing and give up. We try to build things without gluing them, but sometimes it's just required. But yeah, so shorts again is something that Ella's very good at. It's not the kind of thing that I would be able to think up how to do. A lot of them are very just quick, simple jokes.
Yep.
But 80,000 views on that. That's
a lot of views.
Actually, almost 81,000. It's 80,914 views.
That's a lot.
It is for sure a lot. The next one. These titles are something else. We've got "Thanks, Mama. What she doesn't know won't hurt her." So here you go. Here's
Followed by hashtag.
Yeah.
hash
You're right. A
brown.
bunch of hash browns. Good.
Hash browns.
So here you go. Here's
Now
that.
I'm hungry.
Here's that clip. So yeah, that was another good one. A lot of what Ella does with most of the shorts are things about buying Lego, spending a lot of money and things like that. So
So
she's
are you
getting
telling
the
me
drink.
none
but
of her I spent my whole paycheck videos made it in the top 5?
I'm
Dang.
sure they're in here somewhere. I just can't tell based on the titles.
I don't see them in
I
the
don't think
top
so. Yeah.
10.
Yeah, I don't know. It depends. It
And
could
she
be.
had a lot.
It could be.
I guess they're not good.
Yeah, but that one's
She
still,
gets
okay.
a lot of views on them.
So that one there, the Thanks Mom, that one still got 40,915 views. But there you go. That is most of our short form content. And then one of our last categories here is our top live streams of the year.
That's good.
The top 3 spots, not super surprising, are all convention tours. So we had the Atlanta BrickCon Convention Tour, the Brick Fan Expo Jacksonville Convention Tour, and the Orlando Brick Fan Expo Convention Tour.
Huh. So I wonder why Jacksonville was high on the list, because that was actually a smaller convention.
It could have been because there was nobody
Just-
else doing a tour at
It
that
might have been a
convention.
good tour.
We
You're
might have
right.
been the only
You're-
one doing
you
a
know what?
convention
You-
tour.
You might be right.
And people love to see what's at a convention if they can't attend it.
So Atlanta BrickCon Tour had 53,000.
53,000
It was
by
in,
far.
It was in
Nearly
May,
double
so
the
maybe
next
May's
one.
a good time as well. I don't know.
Yep. Some of the other top videos here, top live streams. So we did a Orlando store tour on our channel while we were down there at one time. So people loved seeing that. Obviously, Orlando has started doing their own store tours, but we still have a little bit more reach than they do. So people love to get a glimpse of what the Orlando store was like. And then we have a couple Morning Brick live streams. Is one of our top performing regular repeating live streams by far. So we've got some mega news days on here as well. Some of those coming in well over an hour. We also had well over 2 hours. Our 10,000 subscriber special
That was a fun video.
got over 16,000 views. That one, yeah. All right, so just some last statistics here about YouTube is where people are watching from. So we're going to shout out some sort of interesting ones on here. So if you're watching or listening from any of these places, please let us know.
Drop a
We'll be very
comment,
curious. Obviously, we'll do countries here first. Obviously, top is the United States,
Makes sense.
followed by the United Kingdom, followed by Canada, and then in the number 4 spot, kind of a surprising one, the Philippines.
Yeah.
If anybody's watching or listening from the Philippines, let us know. We'd love to hear from you. Germany, one of the top consumers of Lego in general. We get a lot of viewers from there. Australia, another huge one. We're going to see here a bunch again. So
7% of our views came from the United Kingdom.
yeah,
And only 57% from the United States. That's
just
very
over the
surprising.
majority. Yeah.
I would think if you look at other stats, the United States is 85% or higher for website visits,
Right.
for Meta.
So our
But
YouTube's
for
getting a lot.
YouTube, it's
Yeah.
way more international than it is.
Yeah, which is
yeah,
awesome.
on our other channels.
Yeah.
Yep. These other small percentages add up because that number 2 spot, UK, just under 7%, Canada 3.7%, but only 57 for the United States.
Go right down the list real quick.
Yeah, sure. We'll just run it down. So let's see. I left off at Philippines,
Germany at
Germany,
5.
Australia, Netherlands, followed by Poland, India, Indonesia, Sweden. A lot of these are not primarily English-speaking countries, which is surprising. Brazil, France, Italy, Vietnam, South Africa, Malaysia, Mexico, Ireland, and then all the way down at the, not necessarily the bottom, but where our list cuts off is Denmark.
That's so funny.
Yeah, that's funny.
It's those Lego designers.
Yeah, it must be.
Mike Seige, we know you're watching.
And then top cities here. Our first 4 slots.
And this is in the United States? No, this is
worldwide. This is worldwide.
Okay.
So our top 4 spots from the U.S. New York, L.A., Chicago, and Dallas. All
I'm
major
disappointed
cities.
Atlanta didn't make it in there.
I know. Atlanta is down here. Let's see, 4, 5, 6. Atlanta is down in the number 7 spot.
That's crazy.
With just over 4,000 views. That top spot with New York, at about 8,500 views there. Our top spot abroad, number 5, London in the UK. Makes sense. 5, 6, 7. In the 8th spot, Sydney, Australia. Of course, one of the major cities there. Then moving down, we've got Seattle, Phoenix, and Denver, all back from the U.S. And then from Australia again, we have Melbourne and Brisbane. And then let's see what else.
So we have more than one viewer from Australia.
That's right.
We have at least 3.
Yeah, at least
They
3.
watch a
all coming
lot.
from different cities. All coming from different cities. That's right. So that's going to about do it for our YouTube statistics.
Well, Daniel, that's pretty fascinating.
It is. It's definitely all interesting stuff. You want to talk about Facebook and Meta and things like that, Joe?
Yeah, this is, Meta is Instagram and Facebook, so, most of these are going to be the same thing as a lot of those reels, like the shorts.
Sure.
A lot of them are the same ones, but it's cool to see how, like, one might do
Some
really
are
good on
different,
YouTube.
yeah.
One might do really good on Facebook, one might do really good on Instagram, and then be really bad on the other ones.
Yeah.
Everything's different. So
You never know what's going to take off.
Facebook is one that I still don't really know who watches Reels on Facebook. I didn't even know they existed on Facebook. But I'm not really on Facebook.
I watch Reels on Facebook.
Well, there you go.
It's kind of the same as
I'm old.
Instagram. You'll be scrolling through your standard feed, and then a couple of them will kind of pop up horizontally,
Right.
and it's real easy to just click.
Let me tell you guys something. And when I say you guys, I'm talking to our audience and not you two.
Okay.
All right?
Listen up,
Listen,
audience.
I was talking. I used modern technology to do my business.
And we're very proud
That's
of it.
crazy.
So I was sending a text the other day, and I was using voice to text, and I said whatever, and all these guys are like, "Oh, that's such a boomer thing for you to do," and I'm like, "What? It's modern technology. Who doesn't use voice to text?"
Everyone.
Apparently, young people like Joe and Daniel do not use voice to text.
Very
Why
rarely.
wouldn't you? I don't know. We'll save that for another
I will say
discussion.
the only time I use it is
Another
when my
podcast.
phone is connected to my car, and then I do it because I can't text with my hands, obviously. So I'll just tell my phone or my car what to say.
I would say the only time I do it is when I'm not around other people. Like if I'm by myself.
Yeah,
or
we know
something,
everything Chris texts
occasionally,
about.
right? Exactly. Occasionally, I'll do it if I'm by myself because it is faster than typing. But yeah, I don't know. I just don't do it very often. It's
Okay.
my dad does it. I think it's a generational.
But
thing.
it wasn't just these two. It was a whole
Oh no,
group
Tommy!
of
Oh, yeah, we were all-
Tommy
we were all ribbing on
specifically
you.
was like, "What are you doing?"
I am doing voice to text.
Yeah, there it is.
It's
And
always
that's actually
funny.
exactly how he sounds.
It's always
when he
funny
does
to
it.
then try and decipher your text sometimes when it doesn't quite interpret what you
Right.
said correctly.
Right.
But anyway, yes, back to this.
So Facebook's top one was I'll pull it up for you guys here, but it's disappointed, but not surprised.
Okay.
Which is this video here.
Okay, yeah, that
The-
was
the good-
funny because the studs. And
Exactly.
The,
So
Right.
if you know when you play Lego video
bit of a
games,
Traveler's
Lego
Tales
games
reference.
like the Indiana Jones, Star Wars, the coins are Lego studs. So there's different levels of that. So it's cool to be like, man, all she has is silver and
Couple
gold. She doesn't
pennies, a
have any
couple
blue
golds.
or
Purple.
purple.
Yeah.
That's the big money right there. So
Yeah.
it's cool. On Facebook, that reached 520,000 people.
Huge.
Wow.
Huge.
And Facebook Reels aren't usually that big. So like this one, I don't
Yeah.
know what it is.
So you can see in this, we're throwing this graphic up
Right.
now. You can see the little visual bar of how many that
It's
is compared
very
to
full.
all of the other ones below it.
Yeah, and then the next one after that is we don't need that kind of negativity here. Hashtag Lego, hashtag funny, hashtag for you page, hashtag Juice World.
Okay.
And that got 120,000,
Yeah,
which
still a lot.
is a
Did
lot.
it have anything to do with Juice World?
We're about to find out.
Yeah, so this is a popular trend, right?
That was it?
Somebody gets upset, they run in their room and they slam the door and they turn on
So
the
Ella
Juice
just decided
WRLD
to run
song.
in our bathroom and turn it on.
Yeah, of course.
So yeah, it's the trends that work And then the next one after that was
It's all about knowing what's currently trending, and that's what
really
Ella is great about. You have to be on the platform to understand the platform.
Right. And then Let Me Be Broke in Peace. There's one of Ella's broke ones. So on Facebook, that one does well. You are now on the naughty list. And then a Bionicle Tuesday. So a Toa Tuesday with Garrett.
Nice.
There you go.
And then number 8 is someone's trade. When people bring in a trade, so someone just
big haul
brought it. So those are always pretty cool to see. And then we have Instagram as well here, and very few of these line up, which is always very interesting to see. So on Instagram, our top one was, with no surprise, the $1,000 giveaway with Wilson.
Of course.
It's a giveaway; those always do well. People
Did
are
we
going to see
boost that
those.
post?
We did boost it, but not by a lot. So
Yeah.
some of these are boosted and some are not. But the one after that was Speed Champions. It's just a Speed Champions post, just showing Speed Champion sets, and that got 26,000 views and 1,400 likes. So I don't know what it is about Speed Champions, but some people like it.
Followed by he's
a
just
lot
a
of
chill
reels,
guy.
yeah. He's just a chill guy, and then don't be like me. And it's another set, Star Wars.
No, it wasn't a reel. It says it was a photo.
You're right. He is just a
These
chill
are just
guy.
these are just posts.
He's just a chill guy with Bricky Bobby, right?
Probably. Yeah, probably.
And then a couple other ones on this list that I'm glad to see is Star Wars prequel sets. Obviously, people like Star Wars, but then amazing Lego modulars, and that's from the collection we just got at the beginning of December, which was all but Market Street of the modulars.
Yeah.
And we did this huge, big picture of them. It looked really cool.
Yeah.
I even have a couple pictures with Daniel peeking over the top.
Yeah, it was like,
pretty
ooh.
entertaining.
I had to stand
And those
on a chair to do
like
that.
not even a week.
Yeah, no, those
They
we
were
have.
gone.
Do we have any of those left?
We
is
have
that Town Hall out there from that hall, or was that
the
from
Town Hall is
separate?
the only one left. We have Green Grocer, but it's a different one.
You know what's
sold Green
interesting
Grocer, and then one came in yesterday.
Is
Yeah.
Orlando got a haul of
Similar to that.
modulars the same week, all the modulars, and all they had left was the Town Hall.
Interesting.
So I guess maybe that's just not hot right
I mean,
now.
it's a pretty good set.
But people ask about that
Well,
one
it's
pretty often.
it's one of the biggest modular
It is,
buildings.
yeah.
It's got
I
a
mean,
lot
we
of
even
pieces.
sold Cafe Corner and the Green Grocer. I mean, so it wasn't a price issue.
The last time we had Cafe Corners, they sat around for a little while too. So
Yeah.
I was surprised that one went pretty quick.
Yeah, like 2 years.
I will say I'm noticing with this, you did it off of likes, not views, which are actually so most of these are photos that get likes. That's good to know. Like people actually are liking the photos. Reels people are just watching and going past. So we've got a bunch of stuff on here. Gift with purchase post, Pirates post. That was also from that same collection. Was all those Pirates
All those
ones.
pirate sets, yeah.
And then Lone Ranger. So just some good stuff that you don't see as often.
The Winter Village one, did we do
It
a
did-
Winter
it
Village
didn't
one?
make it on the list, yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah,
People
so
love
sad,
the Winter
right?
Village.
So that's
Always
our Instagram and Facebook stuff there. And
Nice.
everything's always changing on that. So you never know what's going to shoot off and what's not. But all the breaking ones are also very good on there.
Absolutely, absolutely. How many total? You said we dropped what? We think 3 Death Stars.
And 1 Star Destroyer. And the AT-AT.
And
so
the
5
AT-AT.
sets that I can remember. And they're all
that
Star
we know
Wars.
of. Those are the intentional drops. That doesn't count. That doesn't include. I think John Hand dropped
John Hand
another
did
tumbler
in fact drop another
accidentally.
tumbler. This
That's
is
his
the second
UCS tumbler
Yeah,
that he's unintentionally dropped.
Yeah, he's really bad.
Yeah,
with
we won't
those.
let him live that one down. I don't think Grant dropped any modular buildings this
No, but
year.
he did drop a Lightning Dragon set. I have a picture.
Ooh, that's tough. Yeah. That's tough. All right, so let's see. We've covered YouTube. We've covered Meta. Next, we're going to cover our podcast, which you are watching right now, whether you know it or not.
What?
Which, once again, as we mentioned, goes out on YouTube, but also goes out to a ton of podcast platforms where you can listen to it as well. So we are going to first cover some of our top podcast download locations. So we have sort of a interesting breakdown here in a world map sort of view, where we can look at it that way. So 74%, again, closer to that percentage that you were talking about originally, coming from North America, as we would expect. But our top one after that is going to be Europe with 17%, just over 13,000 downloads coming from Europe. 5% coming from Oceania, so that's including both the Philippines and Australia, which we already know were some of our top contenders. 2% coming from Asia with just over 1,600 downloads. We had
0%.
Well, 0%,
No,
but still, we had 131 downloads from South America. Again, not another primarily English-speaking area, as well as 49 downloads coming from Africa, which is still pretty great.
Right.
No statistics on Antarctica, which I say both as a joke, but actually something that we found out was that we have a fan down who is well, you talk to this person, you tell this
so
story.
he came in once, and he was looking at our map here that we have, which is the Lego set of the world map, where we put 1x1 brick rounds for people who visit.
Right.
And he was like, well, 9 months out of the year I work in Antarctica. Can I? And I'm like, yeah, you can definitely. That
absolutely
counts. That's the most unless a penguin walks up in here. That's the best we're gonna get. So he has.
That's right.
And then another one appeared, and I don't believe
but
that
he
it
had
was
come in
real.
the store and he was buying Lego sets to take with him back to Antarctica.
I don't remember.
I think. So he had something
Probably.
to do.
Probably. I don't remember. It was 2 years ago at
Yeah.
this point, but it was really cool to actually put something on there on Antarctica.
Yeah.
So maybe he's watching.
That's right. Could be. Could be.
We're listening.
It did not.
You're right.
It did
Maybe
not
he's
give us any statistics about Antarctica, but we know we have some fans down there, which is very cool to consider that we have fans on literally all 7 continents.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, very, very neat to think about. But to get sort of more in the specifics here about download locations, here we go. In this one, our top city is Atlanta, Georgia,
Well, right
with
on.
nearly 1,300 downloads coming
Isn't that
from
interesting how different that is, though?
The watching
than
of the
YouTube?
BTS is not
there.
as
Yeah,
high.
yeah, very, very interesting. Maybe because there's so much traffic around here, people like to listen to it in their car while they're sitting in
makes
traffic
sense.
rather than watch it. The number 2 city right after Atlanta, Georgia, is Melbourne, Australia.
That's wild.
Yeah,
That's so wild.
1,172 downloads coming from there, which is fascinating. Followed by another international one, Singapore, 885 downloads in our number 3 spot.
Which
Crazy.
is interesting.
People like to listen from Singapore, I guess. Seattle, Washington, Rochester, New York is a surprising one. I've been to Rochester before. It's way upstate, very cold. So I guess
That's
again,
probably why.
Inside, like to listen to podcasts. Maybe 798 downloads coming from Rochester. Noonan, Georgia, right here on our home front.
Yeah, even more specific.
Isn't
I like
that
that.
wild?
Yeah, followed by it's honestly. It could be some of us. I don't know. Maybe it's some of us that are downloading it.
listen
and
to
some
it.
other people. I don't.
I'm
watch the
in them.
videos.
I don't listen to them.
Yeah.
Well, I watch the videos if anything.
Yeah, I don't watch the
download
podcast. Yeah.
So it was Noonan, Georgia, right here at home, followed by Sydney, Australia,
Yeah.
followed by Peachtree City, which is literally right
yeah.
next door. So
Yeah.
interesting
we
to
have
have
a lot
our
of people listening to
2
our
very
podcast.
local
And
sandwiching
Philadelphia.
very far abroad.
Yeah.
Philadelphia, Chicago, so just other major cities, not super
Yeah,
surprising. Portland, Charlotte, Douglasville,
That's
also very
close
local.
To here, yeah.
LA, Brisbane, we've got down there.
Yeah.
New York, Denver, Houston again. Then we've just got sort of, I guess this is all of Europe, not attributed to any specific cities.
It just says United Kingdom.
Yeah.
Yeah, Minneapolis. And then after Minneapolis, Ben Cossey individually in Perth, Australia, must have downloaded 480 episodes of Between
Shout
the
out to
Studs.
Ben.
Maybe Ben with his family or some other friends over there in Perth on the west coast of Australia. So if you're listening from Australia, thank you all for listening. We've got Sacramento. We've got Portsmouth from the UK there. That was actually the top individual city in the UK, isn't it? I don't see
That's
London on
interesting,
here.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Wow.
Interesting. Then further down the list, we have Amsterdam from the Netherlands, another interesting one abroad.
Another notable one is Fayetteville, Georgia. That's also right
Fayetteville,
over here.
also right up the road. That's right. That's right. Poughkeepsie, New York.
Huh.
I don't know who's listening from up there, but
That's
shout out
that's
to
a
you
great
all.
name.
Shout out to you all. Yeah, absolutely.
And
306
Orlando, of
downloads.
course, we
from
got
there.
some. That's good.
Orlando, 312 downloads as well. So very interesting
Yeah.
to see. And then the top individual podcasts that were downloaded this year. So this is sort of similar to the YouTube videos. We had the best and worst investments one, again, coming in at the number 1 slot here with
Can't
548
say I'm surprised by that.
all-time downloads. Yep. Some other random ones here. Best and worst of Lego architecture. Our 6 favorite Lego Marvel sets. So I guess people just like those themes. Our most wanted Lego sets from the year 2014. So this was sort of a ongoing video series. We started probably within the last year, where we do sort of like a time travel machine look back into the year 2014. What would we bring back with us if we traveled back in time to that? Again, rare Lego Parts and Pieces 5. People love to see the parts and pieces videos. However, what's surprising about this is I feel like that's a mostly visual-based episode because you're looking at those rare parts, but people are listening to it. They're not getting that visual element, which is fascinating. So hopefully, we always try and keep it in the front of our mind to make sure we're doing a good job describing things, for the audio medium and not just the visual medium. Followed by Ninjago versus Monkey Kid, another sort of format we started doing, pitting 2 commonly similar themes together. We also did Rock Raiders versus Power Miners.
Which is, of course, a good one.
I'm trying to remember what else we did. I think we did some other versus series there. We also had the biggest problems with Lego Star Wars parentheses angry rant. So people always love to see a rant video. Yeah. People love to see some negativity as well. We did another one recently that was the most scandalous video. So
that's up there.
That is up there. Yep, that one came in with 455 downloads there. For that.
You'll notice with all the other rankings with content, the disparity is way different in the numbers.
Right.
Whereas these are all very close. Very close.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about the number one spot had 548, followed by 509, 500, 495. So it's definitely a tighter grouping there. All right, so that is most of our. We did social media stats, we did podcast stats. So the next thing is going to go over to you, Chris, for sales statistics, or how we did selling things on our website, specific products. And things. So I'm very interested
in searches on our website. So I'll start it out by saying that at the end of this year, we had 7,315 sets online for sale on our website.
It's a lot.
That is a lot of
unique sets.
Right.
There could be multiple listings. For minifigures, we had more. We had 9,438 unique minifigures for sale.
Right. Not quantity listed. These are unique listings.
Yes, unique listings. Yeah. So come this year, 2025, we'll break 10,000.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And then for parts, we only had. Now this should be the biggest category.
Right.
We only had 2,324 parts listed.
Yeah.
So for 2025, keep an eye on our parts because we're making a big investment on putting more parts online for sale. The reason we haven't in the past is because they're just not as valuable as sets or minifigures, and you just don't make very much money selling parts online, but it's our next step.
Right. Yeah. And once again, that's unique lots of parts. I mean, in terms of individual parts, we have, I'm sure, tens, if not hundreds of thousands
so many
of
parts.
Individual parts currently listed online.
Okay. Our top sales by product type.
This is cool. I like.
Do you guys want to take a guess what our
I already looked. I already looked.
I already saw.
Building kits.
It is what I would guess. Yeah.
Building kits are more expensive compared to parts or minifigures.
Right. Even if more sell.
Yeah. Now, I'm doing it by order count, not individuals. So if somebody buys 100 of something of the same thing, that doesn't count. That only counts as one because I'm just doing it by order count.
Yeah.
So building kits was our highest at 20. We sold about 20,000 orders for building kits.
Right, and a lot of orders are never just one set.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So we had 15,000 orders for minifigures. That was number 2.
That's a lot.
And then our parts would come in at like 300 orders for parts. And then you got bulk custom minifigures, ABC building kits.
That's nice. Yeah, that's all of our custom.
Lego animals.
Yeah.
Keychains, T-shirts, custom weapons. And then, like down at the bottom of the list, we've got our jewelry.
Yeah,
and then,
our bling.
Custom accessories.
Nice.
Let's see. Sets by number of orders. So these are our top sets that we did sell.
This is another interesting.
This is cool.
The first thing on the list is our $5 poly bags, which is just a general thing for
at the
conventions,
which we sell a lot of.
This is exclusive to our conventions.
Right.
They're poly bags that are all old and discontinued poly bags
that are worth much more than $5.
Some of them are worth over $20.
Yeah.
You know,
but we get so much positive feedback about these whenever we go to conventions.
Yeah. So if you're going to Atlanta BrickCon, if you're going to any of the conventions that we're going to be at, keep an eye out for these $5 poly bags. It's the cheapest thing you can get at the convention.
Yeah,
$5.
No kidding.
Specifically in our stores and online, the highest selling building kit was the X-Wing Starfighter poly bag.
306.54.
It's a good poly bag.
And that could have been
a pretty good one.
Because of a giveaway, possibly.
Maybe.
But I don't know. I don't remember giving.
No, that was the one that came out with the May the 4th. Stuff, which was the X-Wing,
so
the big X-Wing, and then that was.
We sold 71 of those, so that's probably a legitimate number.
Yeah, no, straight up.
Yeah. And again, this is order count, so this doesn't include if somebody buys 100 of something, that doesn't count. It just counts as one.
Orders with at least one of those.
The next one is very surprising to me. Disney's Rapunzel's lantern.
No, that's not surprising to me. That's
another poly bag.
It's another poly bag, and it's very popular because it comes with Rapunzel and a Pascal.
You know what could have also influenced this? In Orlando, I think during was it the grand opening where we were including polybags as gift with purchases or something?
Those didn't count.
Those didn't count towards this? Okay.
Yeah, that was a different listing.
Yeah. So, these were actually purchased.
Yeah.
Great.
The box set that we sold the most of does not surprise me at all, the AAT 75283.
Yeah.
We had 57 different orders for that set.
Really? Great.
Yeah. And of course, we have to have, in order for that number to be a high number, we have to have that many sets available.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then this actually is very certain. This is the first time I'm
This is
seeing
surprising
this.
for multiple reasons to me.
Yeah, so it's our Lego Time Cruisers Master Watch Collection.
Mm-hmm.
The Time Cruiser, for one, because I thought that the Stargazer was more popular.
Which is on here, but much further down.
Yeah.
I also thought we sold the most Stargazer.
We had 53 different Time Cruiser orders.
Yeah.
And, these watches are way underestimated.
Yeah.
People don't expect to see them. They're not looking for them. They don't even know they exist.
Mm-hmm.
But we do have the world's largest supply of 1999 Lego adult watches.
Right.
Yeah.
And they're on our website for sale, and they're all brand new, and we supply new batteries with them.
That's right.
Dagobah Training, Diorama,
That's a good
Hermione's
one.
Study, Polybag,
Yeah.
Obi-Wan Kenobi Starfighter, the Lego Stargazer Master Watch Collection, which is what I thought would have been the top seller.
I would have expected it to be the only watch on
the
this
list.
list if there were any watches at all.
But it's the second.
And what does skew that is the availability of the sets, too.
Correct,
So,
yeah.
I mean, maybe
Other
if
sets
we
would sell
had-
better if we had them. Yeah.
If we had them, yeah. So, most minifigures sold. So, no surprise, Star Wars. You got your battle droid
Basic.
SW0001C.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's the one with one straight arm,
Yeah.
one crooked arm.
Yeah.
And then number 2, and we had 261 orders for that. And then the battle droid SW0001D,
D, which I think
is
is two straight line
182
arms.
orders for that. So those are your first and second, which basically you can
Nice.
pump
Battle
those
droids,
together.
yeah, makes sense.
Uh,
They're
We
cheap
also
and
that
awesome.
would not include. We also started selling them this year as a prepackaged
Correct.
custom
True,
kit,
yeah.
the
Correct.
Clankers
Clinker
Battle Pack.
Yeah.
Just looking down, this is the first time I've actually looked at this list, but just looking down it, you definitely see a trend. I'm going to speed up here.
Yeah.
501st Legion Clone Trooper, number 3.
Makes sense.
The Batman, 1992 Batman polybag with the
I feel like that actually shouldn't be
cape.
listed as a minifig, should it?
It isn't, but it got listed in our system as a
Yeah.
minifigure. And
But it makes sense, it's a great fig.
140 different orders for that
Wow.
we had. Beast, Marvel Studios. Oh, so Beast.
Yeah, that's
Specifically Beast.
yeah.
And why
Wow.
would that be?
He's cool.
Is he the best one of the series?
He's a good
We sold
one.
100 different Beasts.
That's crazy.
That's insane.
Well, 100 different orders for Beast.
Right.
It
Different
could
orders,
have been
yeah.
more than that.
Yeah.
All right, what do we got next?
Okay, we did that one already. Okay, how about our top searches on our top search terms
Mm-hmm.
that people typed in our website?
Yeah, this
Number
one's always
one.
fun. Let me guess.
This is like one of those
Can I
videos
guess?
where they sit down with like the
Star
celebrity and
Wars.
it's like, is Daniel Craig, and then they like fill in the
yeah.
blank, right?
I'd say Star Wars would be my guess here.
So Star Wars by far and away
Yeah, makes
was
sense.
our number one term, and I'm going to give you a percentage on where that falls.
Chris is a big trivia guy as well
Oh,
as
yeah.
a big numbers guy, so he's done this before at Halloween parties and Christmas parties where he's given us trivia about the store.
I
and
love
search
them.
terms
Those
and
are my
things.
And
favorite
stats,
ones.
yeah, it actually works out.
It's really
pretty
fun.
good,
Yeah.
Sneaky.
Okay, so Star Wars only accounted for 2% of our search
Wow.
terms in total, but it was more than twice as much as the next one. So we had
Yeah.
over 16,000 searches on our website
Oh.
for Star Wars. And what are you going to get if you type in Star Wars?
So much.
You're going to get
yes.
so much.
You got to get
stuff.
more specific than
Yeah.
that.
Well, and that's why it's
Yeah.
such a small percentage of the overall, because people
Right.
are searching very specific things and not
Right.
typically generic things like this.
Yeah. Lord of the Rings.
We're gonna
Made a
say
big
it's
comeback.
Pretty good, man.
So a lot of people were looking for
Half
it.
as many as Star Wars, but I think that's a lot. 8,000.
It is,
Yeah.
considering what the difference in what is out there.
Number 3. Will would like to hear this. Brick Arms.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Yeah.
And that
It's
makes sense
fantastic.
as something that somebody would search as opposed to maybe a
Right,
specific
because you want to see
thing.
the brick arms
Brick
that we have.
wanna
Arms
see
has
the whole
always
collection.
had that brand name. They were one of the first
Yeah,
custom
he's been around for a
accessories
while.
to the market.
Mhm.
It was
Yeah.
high quality to begin
And
with.
it still is.
And he demands a pretty high name brand.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, this is our first individual character's name, Batman.
But also sort of a theme if you think about it. I mean,
Yeah,
most people are not going to
it
search
is.
DC superheroes.
Right.
You're right.
Yeah, but still, Batman.
You're right.
Yeah.
I mean,
It is the first individual name, and I'm surprised it's higher than Marvel.
yeah. I think it's because it's the only good DC thing.
Yeah.
Ninjago.
Yeah.
Wow, above Marvel too.
Yeah, pretty strong. And then you get Marvel.
Right.
And it's also interesting is that these are mostly themes at the
Because
top.
people are searching, and then
Makes
they probably search again with more specific.
Bionicle.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, surprising it's that high.
Yeah.
But I guess people know that we're one of the few places you can go to get it.
Exactly. Yeah. You know you can
Yeah,
find
we
it.
had
To get it reliably, I should say.
3,300 searches for Bionicle.
Yeah.
In fact, as you say that, Daniel, the people who sell bulk Bionicle on Amazon used to buy their Bionicle from us.
It's true. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, we sold them thousands of pounds of Bionicle.
I believe
before
it.
We caught on to them and just reselling it.
Yeah.
Bionicle, then Harry Potter.
Mm-hmm.
So Bionicle outranked Harry Potter. That's surprising.
Impressive,
Harry
yeah.
Potter's
Very
pretty
A
impressive.
modern, current, active
Yeah.
theme, yeah.
Exactly.
Pirates of the Caribbean.
Wow.
That's kind of surprising.
Yeah. I mean, it's always good.
Because if you look at a lot of the other things,
They're current.
they're all Star Wars stuff. So, like, related stuff.
Yeah.
Whereas this is
Well, and again,
different
this is not
variety.
our top themes that sold. This is just what people are searching for.
Correct.
So
Yep.
maybe it's just that Harry Potter fans are smarter and they know to type in the search
Maybe.
bar what they're actually looking
could
for
be it. You
instead
could
of
be right.
just
You're
the
correct.
theme name.
Yeah,
So
that's
yeah,
a good
you never
point.
know.
Yeah.
You never know.
Clone.
All
Clone.
right.
So
That
that's
makes
your,
sense.
That's your first secondary Star Wars
Product
one.
specific. Yeah.
Iron Man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
makes sense.
Star Wars sets.
All
Makes
right.
sense.
Clone Trooper.
Yeah.
Deadpool.
That's
Very
no-
specific.
Not
No
surprising.
surprise
I
there,
think that's because
yeah.
of the Deadpool and
Yeah.
Wolverine.
Yeah, absolutely.
Minecraft. UCS.
Okay.
Yeah, an
yeah.
interesting one. Yeah.
Castle.
Yeah, makes sense.
Lego Star Wars.
Yeah.
All right.
Disney. Technic. And Display.
Display is an interesting one too.
yeah.
This is
People
something we
wanna-
got much bigger into, I would say, within the last year or two as well.
Yeah. Yeah, we do have quite a few displays available.
Lots of different sizes for individual minifigures. I think we had that medium-sized
Yeah,
one, which
for a bunch
fits
of different minifigs.
what,
Probably
15,
15 or so,
16
yeah.
minifigs, and then we've got the bigger one, which you can
I
fit.
sure forget about that one.
God, what, 30-ish minifigs
I
probably?
I fit like 40 in one.
40, yeah.
You can make it.
Well,
you can tighten them in there.
yeah.
And so that's it. That's all I had for stats.
Very cool. It's always interesting to see those statistics. There were some expected things and some very unexpected things as well. So one of the last things we want to talk about for this video, we've done sort of a recap of where we've been in 2024 and things that we have done. We want to also talk about what we're looking forward to in 2025. So are there any store events, any conventions in 2025, any sets that we are looking forward to upcoming? Where do we want to start with that?
Well,
Actually, let's start with conventions because that's right around the corner.
Yeah.
So once again, we'll be attending Atlanta BrickCon this year, and that will be February. Gosh, is it like
I believe it's
8th and
10th?
9th. 8th and 9th.
8th and 9th? Yeah.
It's usually Super Bowl weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can check on their website and make sure you get your tickets now for that. We will be there. As we mentioned, we should have a pretty good showing there with a booth as well as several of our employees.
You can bet we'll do a live stream tour.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. They're very popular.
And hopefully that'll rank towards the top of our videos.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
also are probably going to be able to do some customer of the days at the convention because Ella
Yes.
should be there. So that will be a lot of fun if you aren't usually around the store but want to be a customer today and you're here in town. Definitely ask for it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Any other conventions we have on our slate for this upcoming year?
We do, of course. We'll be doing Brick Fair, Virginia,
Yeah.
possibly Chicago. Don't know yet. If you want to see us there, let us know.
Yeah. That is one we
and then-
passed on last year.
We'll do a couple others. Tampa, probably not as many as we did in this past year.
Yeah.
We'll try to refine them and do more specific conventions.
Yeah.
And then again, Orlando will probably do it if Brick Fan Expo goes back and the Brick Convention. So those are the conventions we'll be at.
Yeah. I don't know. Do we have any other big store news for 2025? I don't think we have any grand announcements to make right now of any kind, but only time will tell.
What is kind of grand is that this is our 10-year anniversary.
Yeah,
that's true. That's a good point. That's a good point.
So we'll be doing things throughout the year for our 10-year anniversary. However, in the fall, which will be the official date of it,
which is in November,
like Friday,
in November
that week,
we'll be doing more.
Yeah.
With our 10-year anniversary. So this is a big year for us as far as that's concerned.
Yeah.
We will be hitting some benchmarks on YouTube where we're going to hit 15,000 probably, maybe even
20.
Maybe 20,000. That would be a lot of fun, and we'll definitely do a video for that. Our best, in my opinion, our best video that we ever came out with was Justin's rap video, and he did that for 1,000 views, and then subscribers, and then he remastered it this year for 10,000.
Which was great. If you missed that, be sure to go check that
Check
video.
the remastered one out. Yeah, it really doesn't get a whole lot of plays, but it's very
good.
Underappreciated.
It's very talented.
It's very smart.
Yeah.
And then what other benchmarks are we hitting this year? For Instagram, we'll hit some benchmarks. And
hopefully 50K.
Facebook, hopefully we'll break, I was going to say 30K.
On what?
On both.
We're already
Facebook
over 30K on Instagram.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, we're like 35.
Okay, so if we could hit 50, that would be excellent.
That'd be awesome, yeah.
Daniel, there were some things that I did want to finish recapping in 2024.
Go for it. Yeah, absolutely.
These were afterthoughts I thought of, but we had a lot of notable people come in the store.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
We discovered that we had Atlanta Braves players following us on Instagram.
The one I remember was Pierce Johnson and
one of the pitchers.
It was Joe Jimenez.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. So quite a few Braves players,
which is awesome.
Yeah. Kirk Cousins.
I'm still upset about this.
He
came into our store on the weekend, and the only reason we actually know that he came in is because he posted on his Instagram a picture of him and his son outside.
Which I'm glad he did. I think he tagged us.
Yeah, he did.
Which
we
is
reposted
fantastic.
It, and we replied to his message, and he hearted our message, so he at least acknowledged we exist.
Yeah.
But no one recognized him on the weekend. And I was like, man.
Well, and this was before the season started.
It was. So he was.
This was his first year in Atlanta.
I know. Probably his last year in Atlanta.
But even if Matt Ryan came in, I bet nobody would recognize him.
I would recognize
I don't think we had.
You have to be a big sports
fans.
guy. Yeah. You can't just be a casual fan.
He
does look like a lot of people.
People would have recognized his name. But,
right. I'm sure he didn't set up an account.
And then we had other. One of them was the customer of the day, but we did have another Falcons player come in.
That's right. Ed did
interviewed
a video with
for
him.
that. We discovered that one of our longtime and best customers is a rapper.
Yeah.
Little something.
Yeah.
But that was
Grant would know.
interesting. And Tommy is the one who.
Yeah, Tommy.
Okay.
Yeah, and then let's see. Oh, Enoch came in.
That's right. Harrison recognized him. And I mean, I would never have recognized him because he's got a mask on the whole time.
Right.
So he knows him from other stuff. I don't know what it is, but that was pretty cool. He told us afterwards, like, hey, that was. It's like, we could have done a video of Harrison. If he comes again, you got to stop him.
Well, Ed said he could talk to him.
Yeah, that's right.
And of course, Ed didn't get his his contact information.
Because that would be great if we do, as we start to get closer to this 10th anniversary, we want to set up things like meet and greets.
Right.
So, let us know in the comments or wherever, if you're not on a commenting platform, reach out to us another way, what things you want to see us do for our 10th anniversary.
Right. Yeah, we had social media influencers coming to the store.
Right, of course.
Ryan with
several
M&R
times,
came in.
Mini Superheroes
was here this year in 2024. Jonathan with Mini Superheroes today was here. I don't think
Holly was here. Holly on Films was here.
Holly was here
at least once last year, and there's always several others, and it's hard to keep track of everybody. But usually when there's conventions, they'll be passing through. Oh, Duck Bricks.
Correct. Yeah,
Duck
was
Bricks
he here?
He was here this year.
Okay.
Twice, I think. Yeah, and he loved it. I mean, he loved the Bionicle Bar so much. Yeah.
And then the other thing I wanted to mention from 2024 was
Randall also, I think, came in, did a
Yes,
Mega Master.
That's right. Yeah.
He was on the first season of
Season 2.
Season 2.
Yeah. I think so.
Was Daniel, this would be your thing, but what was our biggest commission
from
2024?
Let's see.
2024.
Gosh,
Now,
I can think of the one that was right at the end of 2023, and that's what I.
Well, we didn't actually deliver it until 2024.
That's true. We build it. We
Should I
build
get
it at the end of 23. Yeah, sure. Go ahead and grab it. We build it at the end of 2023. We completed it in 2024.
So yeah, that counts for sure.
But this was part of a sort of a multifaceted commission here. So this was for Crash Champions, which is a collision repair chain across the U.S. And so they commissioned us to do. We did a large scale build that measured about 30 inches by 30 inches. I think it was because I think it was 4 base plates, or was it 9 base plates? No, it must have been 4 base plates. So I think it was 30 inches square. Basically, the model looked like this, just scaled up at double the size, because this is 32 by 32. So the other one was 64 by 64 studs. So we built one of those for them first to use in a holiday commercial, which was at the end of 2023.
They said Legos, and we'll forgive
with
them.
an S.
They did. Yeah. So if you go to our commissions page, which I think is atlbrick.com/pages/commission-builds,
you can find it under.
Or under About Us, and you find the Crash Champions thing. There's a link there to watch that commercial if you want to go to see where it was. So they did that first. Then they commissioned us to make these kits, I think, to give out as Christmas gifts or maybe to some of their employees. And we made, I think it was 50 or 60 of these kits. And it's not a small kit.
No,
there were a lot of
a
pieces.
good size
I don't remember the exact piece count, but they were certainly not cheap kits. But we had their little garage and their awning and little 3-stud wide car. That was sort of a challenge to get at the right scale. We did custom printed elements for them too. We had 3 of these signs and 2 of these round logos over here. But that was a very large project.
Yeah. What's interesting, 2024 was an interesting year for commissions. It was. We had probably the most commissions we've ever done in a year.
Yeah.
However, the size, the individual size, we didn't, we had Chick-fil-A the year before.
They trended
that.
smaller,
Delta
We had Delta the year before that. We've had the Blood Vessel.
We're not getting as many of the big sculptures.
Big ones, which actually I'm glad we have.
They take a lot more time.
And they're hard to ship and all that.
Oh, yeah. They are.
The number of small commissions that we took on in 2024.
One-off kits,
a lot of
things for people giving gifts to other
instructions.
individuals.
I think you've made more instructions.
Made a lot of instructions.
He loves making the instructions.
Which is what I enjoyed less as opposed to the sculptures. But there's different reasons.
What is nice is we are doing more custom printed parts for these commissions.
Absolutely. And that really kind of sends it home. I think it's so much nicer than doing stickers, which is fantastic. So this was a cool one for sure. But go check out our commissions page. There's a ton of really just interesting models that we've made on there that are worth checking out. But good point bringing that up. I didn't think about that. Did you have anything else there for your notes that you added?
Let's see. These are kind of mixed in with my personal notes of things that I need to do.
Fair enough. You get a little bit of it.
But
Chris always has to-do lists
we
running.
covered just about everything I had here. I think what we're going to talk about next is just we're going to wrap this up with what we're looking forward to most in 2025.
That's right. So we talked about conventions coming out. We talked about store news that's going to be happening in 2025. But I think the last thing is our sets that we are most excited for in 2025. So we can just go in the same order there. Joe, what are you looking forward to most?
Once again, super surprising. It's Lord of the Rings sets. That's what I'm looking forward to. Yeah. We're getting 2 this year, which is crazy. We're getting a big scale Hobbit house, which is, I don't know if it's just going to be one Hobbit house or a little bit more, but bag end. So that's exciting. That's good. But the one I actually am a little bit more excited for is a smaller one, but it's the Book Nook, and it's Durin's Bane versus Gandalf, which is the Bridge of Khazad-dûm, and where the Balrog and Gandalf face off. And I'm excited to see what that looks like, because that's a great scene, and if the Balrog looks good, it's going to be perfect.
That's
so
right.
I'm excied for both those.
At the time we're filming this, we've not seen pictures of either
No,
of
I'm
these
very
sets,
excited.
So they could go in any number of different
The
directions.
the Hobbit house is in April. It's supposed to come out. So that's mine. Easy.
This was a hard pick for me because I feel like we got a lot of stuff that just came out on January 1st, but there were a lot of rumors that are older that are sets that we haven't seen yet. But I was kind of struggling to remember what ones I was most excited about. So far, I would say the only one that I think I'm still interested in that we haven't seen anything yet is, of course, this huge $1,000 Death Star.
That's
the first
fair.
ever $1,000 Lego set, or $999.99. again, we haven't seen pictures of this, so
Yeah.
this really could go any different direction. But I'm certainly going to be interested in seeing it.
Better be awesome.
I don't know if I'll be able to just justify buying
That's
it.
a lot of money.
So
That's a lot.
I think a lot of people are going to have a hard time justifying this, but I'm very excited to see it. I'll put it that
I
way.
agree with that, and I'm excited to drop it.
Just kidding.
Eventually.
Oh my.
Yeah,
Eventually.
we'll get there. I'm sure.
It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
We'll
did
get there
make me
someday.
think of another set.
Is
though.
it gonna happen in 2025?
We'll find out.
I doubt it, because the only way we would drop it is if it was
It comes out in
yellowed
November,
or dusty or
so
damaged.
It ain't
so
gonna happen.
I don't think you're going to see
so
it.
look
very
forward
much.
to it.
As
Look
We'll see.
forward to it in
We'll see.
2026.
Yeah.
Maybe 26, maybe even 27. Who
I will
knows?
say bonus one is a UCS Django Slave 1. I'm very excited for that. And
I
I
did
forgot
forget
about
about
that.
that. Yeah.
That one's going to be awesome.
See, I knew there was stuff we were
Because
forgetting.
yeah, we
that's
haven't had
like
a
old
Django
rumors
Fed
that we
Slave
still haven't
one
seen.
since 22, and that's or 2002. Sorry, and that's the only one we've ever got. And now they're doing UCS one, which is so exciting.
I think I'll stick with the Death Star.
No,
though,
fair
'cause
enough. I just thought of it.
I
so
have
had
such
to put it
fond
out there.
memories of that very first 2008 Death Star,
Fair enough.
and that was a big part of my childhood
Yeah.
for sure. So, all right, how about you, Chris? What are you most eagerly anticipating?
I am excited to see things that we haven't seen before.
Yeah.
The Death Star to me it's cool and all, but it's like we've had at least 5 other Death Stars. And
3.
It's just
That's because I don't think that's right.
the mini scale one,
4.
the planet one.
Okay,
Yeah,
all right.
there he goes.
I
Look
guess.
At him go. Look at him go.
Yes.
At least 5. At least 5.
At least
Okay.
5
All right.
ish.
I think there was a 4+ set that had like one of the.
There's
cannons on
been
it.
insides of the Death Star.
Oh, insides don't count.
The
There's
Comic-Con
been
set
the
where they're
trench
swinging
run.
across.
Well, that's
the,
more than 5.
Yeah,
Now
the
we're
Trench
over
run.
it.
I mean, there's
Yeah.
it's.
all right.
Lego
Get on
has
with it.
been there, done that.
Get
Yeah.
on with it.
Right.
Where Lego has not been and done is the Cullen House.
That's yeah.
Number
I mean,
one,
I'm
it's,
excited.
it's just a cool house.
It is a cool.
It is really
yeah,
cool.
Very modern
But
style.
Unlike me, this is very unlike me. But
This could go anywhere.
I got my wife and she got me into it. She got me into the Twilight Saga.
Okay.
And we actually went out for a wedding to Seattle back in 2011, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And we went to San Angeles, where they filmed most of it.
Uh-huh.
And we didn't make it to Forks, but we went to the town
That's
where
cool.
Forks was supposed to
Nice.
be.
Nice.
Where they filmed everything, and it was really cool. So I am into Twilight.
Yeah. I actually think I'm going to be buying that set when it comes out because we watched it last year as a group. Daniel loved it. I thought it was absolutely hilarious, and I got really into it. Daniel also, right?
Yeah. No.
And then the USS Enterprise.
That's crazy. Still.
This,
I can't
yeah,
believe that.
this is a really big deal from a licensing perspective.
I have hopes that someday they'll get into G.I. Joe.
Yeah.
And this isn't it, but it's
But it's
getting
something.
closer.
Yeah, it's something different.
And then the new Blacktron.
That's a great. The Renegade. Yeah,
came out.
that one's so cool.
Is exciting.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, people have been calling for years for classic theme remakes, and I think it was pretty solely
Yeah.
because of the 90th anniversary of Lego that they brought back
The castle.
the Galaxy Explorer, the 90th anniversary castle, and they must have sold unbelievably well. And Lego finally, I guess, has decided, well, you know,
We got
we can't-
El Dorado as
we
well.
can't argue with
now
it.
This
Now
one.
El Dorado, you got this, yeah. So we're getting more minifigures based on classic themes.
Yeah,
We got
which is cool.
CMFs for Ice Planet, for M-Tron,
Yeah,
for
Wolfpack.
Wolfpack.
Yeah.
So a lot of these factions and sub themes coming back as
Yeah.
well, which is great to see. Finally, Lego kind of acknowledging that. So. All right, well, I think that is going to do it for us for this 2024 recap as well as a glimpse into 2025.
That's right.
So we want to thank you all for watching this video as well. Please, whatever platform you are watching, listening to it on, give it a like, give it a comment, whatever you are able to do to engage with our content. We had many things that we wanted to hear from you about that we want feedback on, so please reach out to us either through a comment or go ahead and shoot us an email at info@atlbrick.com. But if you're watching on YouTube or wherever else, once again, give it a like, give it a subscribe, give it some contents. Something else we've been calling for recently, share it with a friend. If you have some other friends who are in the Lego space, in the Lego community with you, find a video that they might like and just shoot them a link and say, hey, you know, this reminded me of you. This is something I think you'd be interested in. You know, we would really appreciate it, and it helps other people find new channels for things that they're looking for. So thank you all for joining us for this very special recap episode of Between the Studs, and I hope you all have a great rest of your day. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.